Now, if you're thinking about moving to Denver this year, March gave us one of the first real clues that the market might be tightening again. Homes are selling faster. Some areas are seeing more competition. And depending on where you're looking, your experience could feel very different right now. So if you're planning a move to Denver, whether that's for a new job, a lifestyle change, or just to be closer to loved ones, understanding the market can make a huge difference in how smooth that move actually feels. Because while most people talk about Denver as a whole, the reality is Littleton, Lakewood, Golden, and Arvada, well, they're all behaving slightly different right now. Let's start with the big picture across Denver. And just a quick heads up, real estate data always runs about a month behind. So what we're seeing here is really a reflection of what was happening over the last 30 to 60 days, not necessarily what's happening this exact moment. Now, here's what stands out about March. Homes are selling a lot faster than they were just last month, and that's a noticeable change. Inventory is still there, so buyers certainly have options. But well-priced homes are starting to get attention more quickly again. So overall, the market still feels balanced, but it's leaning a little bit more competitive in certain areas and price points. And if we zoom out just a second and look at where we've come since the beginning of the year, the market started off a little slower and more balanced, with homes taking a little bit longer to sell and buyers having a bit more breathing room and negotiating power. But as we moved into March, we're starting to see things tighten up a bit. Homes are selling faster again. Buyer activity is picking up in certain areas, and the market is becoming a lot more dependent on the location. So instead of one clear trend across Denver, we're really seeing a mix of conditions depending on where you're looking. Now, one thing I see all the time with people relocating to Denver is that they eventually start comparing the West Denver communities, like Littleton, Lakewood, Golden, and Arvada. That's actually why I created a playlist called Where Should You Live in West Denver? In that playlist, I break down what living in each of these areas is really like. But first, let's take a look at what the market is doing in each one. All right, we're going to start with Littleton, because this one's a bit of a split story. We're seeing less overall activity, fewer listings, fewer homes going under contract, but at the same time, homes that are selling are moving faster. So what that usually tells us is the buyers who are active right now, they're serious buyers. Now, Littleton offers a mix of space. You've got access to outdoor recreation, and you've got proximity to Denver. So even in a quieter month, there's still solid demand here. Now let's talk about Lakewood, because Lakewood is one of the clearest areas where we're seeing momentum. And that momentum is picking up. More homes are going under contract, more homes are closing, and pricing is holding steady to slightly rising. Now that combination typically means buyer competition is starting to return. Lakewood includes a range of housing options, and Lakewood sits between downtown Denver and the foothills. That location continues to support steady demand. Now, Golden tends to do its own thing. We're seeing more homes come into the market, but they're taking longer to sell. At the same time, prices are still holding. So this creates a more patient buyer environment. Golden offers close access to the foothills, closer access to the trails, and a smaller community setting. So buyers here, they're often taking more time to find the right fit. And then there's Arvada. Well, this one's a bit of a mix. In Arvada, we're seeing buyers active in the market, but also a little bit more negotiating happening. Homes are taking a bit longer to sell, and pricing has softened slightly. So what that tells us is buyers are engaged, but they're being selective. Arvada offers more space and access to both Denver and Boulder. And right now, it's a market where strategy really matters. So if you're planning a move to Denver, here's the big takeaway. And here's the takeaway for March, because the market isn't moving in just one direction. It's becoming more location specific than ever. Some areas are seeing competition pick up. Others are giving buyers more time and flexibility. And you know what? Your experience, it's really going to depend on which part of West Denver you choose. And if you're trying to figure out which area might actually be the best fit for you, let me know, because I do this every day, helping buyers determine where is the best area in West Denver to live. And don't forget, I've created that playlist called Where Should You Live in West Denver? because in that series, I walk through Littleton, Lakewood, Golden, and Arvada, so you can really get a feel for what living in each area is like. I'll be sure to link that playlist below. This way you can start narrowing down which part of West Denver might be right for you. Until then, remember, life is short, live somewhere awesome, and be well. We'll see you next time.